What's your, I'm not even supposed to be here today, story? Was working retail, had 2 weeks left till school started again and I was quitting. This lady let her kid shit on the floor in a clothing rack. My manager approached me and told me the situation and said I was to clean it up. I responded with, I have 4 days left here. I will quit right now. You don't pay me enough for that. She laughed and said she figured I'd say something like that, then we both laughed. Then she said she'd find somebody who actually needed the job to do it. So you didn't do it, but stayed the 4 days? Yeah. The managers loved me there because I was the hardest working person in the store at the low level. I was a bit of a perfectionist. Because I had a reputation as being a super hard worker, my time was better spent upselling other customers rather than cleaning some kid's shit off the floor. I was almost sold into a sex ring as an infant. I was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where my biological parents basically listed me on the black market, intending to sell me for profit. Much to my fortune, a group that posed as buyers on the black market but was actually an adoption agency, or at least worked closely with one, arranged to buy me, then proceeded to literally steal me in a van and spirit me away to Rio. There, I was kept safe, and at 9 months of age, a wonderful young couple from Pennsylvania flew down to meet me and take me home forever. I'm now living a fantastic life that was gifted to me against unimaginable odds, and I'm thankful for it every day, and I'm thankful to those who made it possible, whoever they may be. They must have had hearts of gold and boundless courage to enter dangerous situations like that to help the helpless and innocent children like myself. Working in a thrift store, covering another manager's shift so she could take her birthday off. Right after I clock in, I see a woman stuffing her purse with used bras and panties and then try to make a run for the door. I get as far as saying, "Excuse me, ma'am," before she screams and upends her XL Taco Bell cup full of Mountain Dew Livewire over my head. She runs into the street, and everyone in the store stares at me while I'm dripping in orange bullshit. Got to work the next 8 hours with sticky, citrus-scented hair. I think the more surprising part is that this thrift store sells used underwear and bras. Reluctantly was taking a trip to Hartford, Connecticut one weekend and on the way caught a flat tire. Friend drives a Lexus which requires a custom key to remove the tire. Did not have the key and had to be towed to an auto shop to have the wheel busted off. Whole process takes about 2.5 hours and we're hungry and cranky, so we decide to stop off at a random bar we saw on Yelp, and we head straight there. Walk in and the owner is crazy excited. Like running around the bar excited to see us. Insists we sit at the bar with him, and he tells us we're his first lunch customers ever. Serves us super great food. Stay for a while for some drinks with him and have a good time. Later a few girls walk in and he's only slightly less excited to see them. This dude had crazy energy. Have a good time for the rest of the night there, and end up dating one of the girls we met that night for 3 or 4 months. Really an enjoyable time. Not me, but as I'm getting dressed for work a coworker messages me to ask if we can switch stations. I was station A, he was station B. In my mind the stations were about the same, but people usually prefer station A. I say that's fine and go to station B. I proceed to get 0 calls. He was busy the entire shift, including a guy that went into cardiac arrest while driving and hit another car and a tree, and the initial dispatch reported the passenger as being unconscious as well. I heard all on the radio. He texted me later in the night like, "I'm never swapping with you again." 911 dispatcher? Paramedic. I'm a teacher. I was sick and thought I could make it through a school day. But I was miserable. I went to the office to arrange a sub. On the way back to my room to get my car keys, I saw 2 students loitering outside the library. I tried to keep my head down and my ears closed, but as I walked by one said to the other, "Man, I'm going to fucking murder that kid with this pencil when I see him." He could have said just about anything else and I'd have kept walking. Alas. So you had to mandatory report him? Did he get suspended? No idea. Told security and then pieced the hell out of there. I can definitely imagine you just sighing and turning around and walking back to the office looking like death. Missed my flight off Kauai and got on the next flight to Oahu. Flight was 20 minutes. Takeoff was fine and we were ascending normally. Until the plane jolted with such severity. As I rose out of my seat I saw a flight attendant hit their head on the ceiling. People started screaming. The plane was tossed up and down and whipped side to side. I grabbed the arms to my chair like it was a jetpack and held on for my life. This continued for minutes. All I could think was, this is how I die. I'm not even supposed to be on this flight. What a terrible way to end this vacation. Eventually it stopped, and the pilot came on over the intercom and apologized for the turbulence, and told us the drink service would be suspended. Don't care about the juice at this point, buddy. Get this plane on the fucking ground. I had a free period my senior year of high school, so I decided to sit in an English class that a few of my friends were in. After a few days I got yelled at and was told to move my desk next to the teacher's desk. Obviously this was not going to fly, so I stood up and said, "I'm not even in this class," and walked out. Haha, what was the teacher's reaction? Did you get in trouble? She was just glad to get rid of me. My junior year I was in the class next door to hers and she hated me, told me, "I had your brother in my class and he was an angel, but you," and then turned red and muttered as she walked away. Strange woman. Worked in fast food. Anyways, this one night it was crazy busy and some people had called in. Here I am wanting to check my schedule but notice the massive lines. The one super chill manager looks at me and motions for me to come to the back, and she tells me that if any of the other managers catches me I'm stuck there all night. Friday night I just wanted to go out and drink, so she literally grabs me by the collar and drags me out the back door and closes it behind me. Best boss ever. I was in the Coast Guard and I had to cover for someone on my day off. Well, the night before was my friend's last day in, so we threw down and partied. Normally when you stand by for someone, it's common courtesy from the other crew to basically give you the day off, unless you're really needed. So I said fuck it. Well, I'm hungover on the rec deck trying not to die, and a pipe goes through that a body had been reported and they called the crew to make preps and put me on there. Fuckers. Turned out to be 4 bloated bodies that had been gotten to by sharks and other fish. Worst smell Eve ever smelled. Got back to station and had to throw away the uniform I was wearing. When I was a senior in high school I took a sick day, because I wanted to, not because I was sick. A woman walked into my house, pooped on my dining room table, wiped it on our walls, and then left. Not joking. I didn't want my parents to know I had not gone to school, or had and left the doors unlocked, so I spent 2 hours scrubbing and disposing of the evidence, and then showering in scalding hot water for an hour. Couldn't you have just disappeared for a couple hours until after your parents got home so they'd find it? I had too little morality to be honest with them, but too much to leave them with the mess. You're the kid I hope to have one day. Got fired while on paid vacation leave to spend the weekend celebrating my 21st birthday. I get home from the bar around 3 a.m. Wake up at 4 a.m. because my phone is ringing. Conversation goes like this. Hello? Drunkie, it's boss. We need you to come in at 6 to help open. No one else will do it. Boss, I just got home from the bar. I'm still drunk. Just until 9. I just need you until 9. I'm drunk. It's my birthday weekend. I asked off months ago, but no one else will come in. I'm drunk and on vacation. Please, drunkie, please. Oh my god, for fuck's sake. Just till 9? Just until 9, fine. I'll get up and take a shower and call a cab. Thank you. See you at 6-inch. I opened the bakery department, and as an added surprise the coffee bar, which I was not trained to do, and worked both departments alone for 2 hours serving customers. 9 rolls around, boss calls me into the back office as I'm clocking out and fires me on the spot for being at work smelling like vodka and asks me to clean out my locker. Looking back, I was supposed to get my annual raise 4 days later, and she knew I'd be drunk. She set me up to work 3 hours so she didn't have to give me a raise. Came in on my day off because someone called out. Got rewarded with the hands-down worst bite in my 5+ years as a groomer. 4 deep punctures. 2 ended up accessing, and I got a bone infection despite immediate treatment and antibiotics. The constant bandage changes ended up ripping bits of my skin off, so I have scars not just from the bite, but also the bandaging. I went to the church one day to teach 2 organ lessons. The pastor came in and said he had received phone calls that the church bells had not tolled the noon hour, and he wanted to know why. I told him that the sexton had not shown up and that normally I would not have been there, except to teach. Turns out the sexton was home sleeping off a hangover instead of on the job, doing his duties. Stopped by a friend's house. Turns out that was the day the police decided to come and arrest him, search his house. I was on my way out the door when they arrived. Supposed to be on our honeymoon, but didn't have enough money to go anywhere, so we are hiding from family for the week. Been kinda nice. Was working night security at a hotel at the time. My coworker in relief got bit by a spider and had necrosis, so I was called in while he was rushed to the ER. An hour into my shift, the entire half of the town lost power, including the hotel. It was the middle of summer in 100-degree-plus weather, and at night it reached upper 80 degrees if you were lucky. The hotel was 100% full and the parking lot was pitch black. During this time, some dudes on bikes decide to come round and try to break into some cars. I had to chase them off. One of them got brave and tried to fight me, and I had to tase him. His friends carried him off. I walked circles around the hotel for 5 hours before power came back. I wasn't even supposed to be there that week. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.